it's me again. I've been real busy the last month or so, and BuiltRight was kind enough to send me his rail kit, but I haven't been able to install it yet. So I'm going to just take a couple of little videos and try and piece them together so that you can see what it's like. So far I've really liked his bedside racks. I also like this $150 top tonneau cover that I got off of Amazon. So I just made a wooden rail because I was too cheap. So I was saying I was too cheap to buy the Mopar kit, and I'm thinking of hooking up like a 1,000 or 1,500 watt 120 volt power inverter and putting a plug right there where they did. But I think I could have my rails and that, and it would be much more powerful because the one that it comes with is only 300 watts. Yeah, anyway, this video is about BuiltRight's rails, and I think if you pair that with that 1,000 watt inverter that I was talking about and hook it up to the same spot, you're going to be way better off. Yeah. One thing to note is if you loosen this bolt a lot, you can get this rack to swing way out, so then you can get the rail in. I doubt many people have a wooden rail like I do, but getting that put on by myself was kind of a pain. So just loosen it. You can loosen it quite a bit and just swing it out of the way. Another thing that I wanted to mention to people is these little rubber things that the bedside racks were supplied with. I went and asked Matt at BuiltRight if I could buy more of them, because I'm actually going to use them, or I'm actually using them as rubber bumps for my ammo can here, so that the ammo can doesn't rub against the rack while I'm bouncing down the road. So far, so good. Well, that was pretty easy. Just 4 bolts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Comes off really nice and easy. Now I gotta go open up this package and see what's all inside. Cleaned up my shop a little bit, but it's kind of hard when you do woodworking and car stuff. But this is the box that everything came in. I'm gonna start taking it apart, let you know what I see. As usual, everything that I've received from BuiltRight is packaged really nicely. All the bars are wrapped in this, and then another piece of cardboard with another piece of cardboard around it. Packaging's awesome. Looks like the whole thing has been kind of padded and saran wrapped together. The 3 rails and then all the hardware is inside. These things are stout. They're quite heavy. When I first recorded this, I kind of misspoke about something, so I re-recorded it and edited the video. This rail, this is one of the side rails. There's a front and a back to the rail. So if you flip the rail over and you try to install it like this, it may not work. So it will only go in one way, but the right rail and the left rail are interchangeable. So just be aware of that. Alright, so I got one rail on, and uses 4mm Allen head button head screws, whatever you want to call them. One thing that I ran into, which you should be aware of, let's see if I can hold my camera and show you, is that my Allen wrenches here aren't deep enough to engage the screw, so I can only do it like this. Well, you're not going to get a lot of torque on it like this, so just be aware that you're either going to need to buy something else or have something else, whether it's a T-handle or some kind of a socket for your drill or something like that. This is my first time using these don't know what you call these, strut channels or something like that, but they are amazing. You just get those little nuts, you put them in horizontally, boom, boom, and then let's see if I can do this one-handed. You just lift it in like that. Now, alright, this is like a contortionist experiment here with my fingers holding the camera and the rack. But as you can see, if you just spin this, the nut spins, and by design it can't spin any farther. And then alright, so as I was saying, the nut engages the rails, and then you can just crank down on that thing. And it's so much easier than this video looks. It's really hard to hold a camera and try and do this all at the same time. But this thing is so awesome. I can't wait to get all my stuff hooked up to this. Oh man, this thing is awesome. So I fabbed up these aluminum mounts when I had the wooden rail on here, and they work just the same. So looks like the geometry of the wood thing that I made and the Mopar one and BuiltRight's rail, they're all the same. So with that inexpensive $147 topper, that I can't remember what the brand is, but you can find it on on the Gladiator forum. You can just fab up these little easy little L brackets, and then just take the washer out and just use this bracket as the washer for the BuiltRight bedside racks. And this thing is awesome. It's back together. About the wooden rail that I should mention is, you see the hole for the BuiltRight rack is right there, and behind it is the hole that actually connects the bedside rail to the truck bed. Over here, if you use BuiltRight's setup, you can see the bolt back there, but this doesn't have a problem, so it can occupy the same space front to back, and you don't run into a problem. Whereas if you do something like this, all those bolts end up trying to be in the same spot at the same time, and you've got you have to countersink things or something like that. So the BuiltRight rack takes care of that problem for me, which is awesome. Another thing that I just realized is that on this left side of my box, you see I've got the two mounts for the tonneau cover. I wanted to have the other mount right here, but remember this problem with everything trying to occupy the same space, and it just wouldn't work. So I wanted to move that all the way out here so that it had less tendency to flex. Over here with the new BuiltRight rack, I can occupy all the same space for both the tonneau cover, the bedside rack mount, and the mount for the rail. It can all be in the same spot, and so this is going to be much more sturdy than that side. So just another little tidbit of information about why these racks are so sweet, and the rail system.